Do you think every Van Morrison album since 1978's been an attempt at replicating Van Halen? Hey, everybody, welcome back to Listography. Jason here with Joe and Kramzer. Today we are talking about the new Weezer record, Van Weezer. It is their second album of the year already, and we're not even to the halfway point. So if you saw our review, I think just Joe and I did the OK Human review. I was not a fan of that record at all. It's still my lowest ranked record of 2021, 1.5 stars. And, you know, I've been pretty hard on Weezer over the years. Outside of their first couple records, haven't enjoyed a whole lot of what they've done. But I'm always interested to kind of check out what they do. I'm a big enough fan of some of their early stuff that I'm still interested in what they might be attempting. So gave this one a try, and I will hold my judgment for a little longer. You guys, how did you feel about this record?
Van Weezer? Van sucks. It's not good. It's worse than OK Human. I'm giving it 1.5 stars. I get why some people might like it. It is incredibly playful and joyous and tongue-in-cheek and doesn't take itself seriously, but it's not clever or fun about it. I mean, there's that line you can walk where it's like cringe or just, you know, kind of silly and enjoyable, but they're on the cringe side for me on this one. And they kind of advertise it like it was going to be this just like shredding masterpiece, like a la Van Halen. There's some of it in there, but it's really just like a very light sprinkling, a Salt Bay version of like tapping and shredding and hammer-ons. It doesn't have nearly enough of that to save it. I think it's pretty bad, and I probably like Weezer the least of the three of us. I think Blue Album's overrated. I think Pinkerton is just not good at all. You know, I'm not going to say what my favorite Weezer is because we'll get to that video, but I don't understand what they're doing anymore at all. Like, there's no like second thought to an idea. It's like, oh, we could do this. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. We'll call it Van Weezer. That's great. Van Halen, he died last year, so that's perfect. Let's do that. I mean, look at some of these lyrics. Come on. Pump it up, please, daddy, please, daddy. Ew. And then sometimes she hands me a jar of Jif and it feels good when I open it. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't think it's being too pretentious to say that these just aren't great lyrics, no matter what you're going for. I didn't like it at all. I think I just made that pretty obvious.
Yeah, it was brutal, but I don't really disagree with my associate Ryan over there. And I like Weezer. I mean, I gave OK Human 3.5 stars. I think it's perfectly pleasant. I mean, that's not like a great rating for me. It's pretty average. It's going to end up maybe making the top 100. So it's not like I'm gaga over it, but at least it had a little bit of a different sound. This one, if you're going to call it Van Weezer, like commit to that idea. It's basically just Weezer with like a couple weak tapping solos. Like there's almost nothing that differentiates it between some of their old stuff. Eulogy for a Rock Band from Everything Will Be All Right in the End rocks way harder than anything on this album. Like what Van Halen were you're trying to like commit fully, like really go over the top with something? Everything just seems like a weak one imitation of hair metal in the 80s, I guess, but like Van Halen like nothing makes sense. Like it's just really bad all the way through. Kramzer's right. The lyrics are even worse, far worse than OK Human. And, you know, I think the guitar solos on Blue Album are better than this one. Like I'm going into this expecting like some just like giant fireworks of just awesome shredding, tapping, big runs. No, you don't get any of that. You just get kind of like weak Weezer imitation of metal, hair metal. Kind of sucks. It reminds me of like All American Rejects more than Van Halen. So it's not And I kind of like All American Rejects, but I don't think that's what you're going for when you name an album Van Weezer. It's just dumb. It's bad. Rivers' flow on this album, so terrible. His rhyme schemes are awful. Like, just make like the obvious rhymes and like don't draw attention to your bad lyrics. Like his word choices just make it even worse than it could be. So yeah, this is it's close to like Red Album, or not Red Album. Yeah, Red Album and Hurley for my two least favorite Weezers of all time. It's maybe 2 stars. Like I'll give it 2 stars because Sheila Can Do It's pretty good. I guess Hero is okay, but it just leaves a bad feeling in your mouth, in my earbuds when I'm listening to this. Come on, you can do better than this.
We need to see Rivers' Van Halen list because I don't trust him. He needs to do a Van Halen listography because it's got to be like Different Kind of Truth at number 1. Like just his idea of what Van Halen is just terrible, apparently.
He's a big Van Halen 3 fan. It's Van Weezer 3. They forgot to add the 3 thing.
I kind of like this record. I don't think it's great, but I think it is way better than anything Weezer has done in a long time. Even their supposed like comeback records, Everything Will Be All Right in the End, and the White Album, that were supposed to be so much better than the things they had done prior to that. Those records aren't that great. I think this is better than even those. If you're expecting Weezer to sound like Van Halen going into this, then yeah, it's not going to meet your expectations. But I think
it's like what they told us to expect. I
think sonically it doesn't sound like Van Halen, but I think they're going for just sort of that fun party thing that early Van Halen is. I think the hooks are really good on it. Basically, my notes for every single song on this record are that the hooks are great, the guitar work is pretty good, the songs are pretty memorable, and the lyrics are pretty terrible. That's basically what it boils down to. But even though the lyrics are terrible, I still think they're way better than a lot of the lyrics on previous records. I think they're still very dumb lyrics and pretty pointless, and they're not really saying anything at all. But I think they flow a little better than they have in the past. They're not as clunky. So they don't bother me as much as they have on other albums. I don't know. I think it's enjoyable. I am going 3 stars on it. Not a great record, but compared to what they've been doing, I think it's damn near a masterpiece.
Well, you said they're going for Van Halen in like that fun party mode. Was Weezer ever not doing that? Like, what's their really serious reflective era in the Weezer catalog?
Well, OK Human was an attempt at being serious, and that was just total trash. So glad they went back to doing what they do.
I can't believe you like it more than White Album or Everything Will Be All Right in the End. That's a little mind-blowing.
I can't believe you like it more than Chemtrails Over the Country Club via the star ratings. That's a hard pill for me to swallow.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Here's the thing. For everyone out there, we're recording this video. Jason has been off for 10 days. He didn't listen to any music. This is the first album he listened to coming back into music. So it's just like that oxygen getting back to the brain. I mean, they could have put out an album where they accidentally sat on a harmonica and you'd been like, oh, music, great. And it's nice to be back, at least 3 stars. But I think you're wildly off on this one. And even their attempts to like be fun and goofy come off more as daffy here. Like Joe said it best, like they're forcing these rhyme schemes that just, it's ridiculous. None of it's working for me at all.
I mean, they've been doing that since the Green Album. But basically, I mean, I went back today through it, and I was just planning on skipping through it and taking like some quick notes for the video. And a lot of the songs, I just listened to the whole thing because I enjoyed them. So can't say I do that for many albums when I'm just taking notes. So
I liked it less the second time I heard it. The first time I heard it, at least there was like some element of surprise. Like the second time through, when I was like focusing on what was going on, no, even worse, it dropped a whole star for me. So I guess we're just not hearing the same Weezer these days.
All right, so let us know what you think. If you gave this album a listen, how do you rate it? What do you think of our ratings. And yeah, what else should we review coming up? What are you looking forward to? Drop it down in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit the bell for notifications, and check the description box for links to all of our social media. We will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.